The first thing I want you to understand is that good grades are very, very important. You cannot join the caliber of people that say, I beg, let's just go to school, let's just do it and get away with it, let's just anyhow. No, you cannot join the caliber of. Okay, good day guys, welcome to today on Princess Anu TV, and in today's edition guys, I'm going to be telling you how you can track your progress in the university, especially UNIPORT, because I graduated from UNIPORT, and to an extent I can tell you how you can track your progress. I mean academic progress. I'm not just here to talk about reading, because a lot of people have read, they've done their best, and yet they still discovered at the end of the day, how come I have a missing script, how come I have a carryover here, and I don't know, and all those things. So actually this channel is about aviation, motivation and adventure. Today I just thought, I remembered my alma mater, and I'm like, I must give back a little to you guys, to help you guys know how you can track your progress in the university, so that you don't spend 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years and come out with nothing. So stay tuned guys, I'll be right back. Okay guys, welcome back, and if you're new to this channel, like I said, this is Princess AnuTv, and we talk about aviation, motivation and adventure. And if you've not yet subscribed, make sure you click on the subscribe button and click on that bell, so that whenever I post any video, you'll be able to see it. So welcome back to today's topic, which I said it's going to be about talking about how to track your progress in the university stage by stage. I'm talking about from 100 level, 200 level, 300 level, 400, and if you have 500 level and 600 level, we are going to be talking about that today. And first of all, I graduated from the University of Port Harcourt from the Department of Animal and Environmental Biology, and I'm going to generally say that my stay in the university was a good one for me, though there were hiccups here and there, and I have where I write my results. I tried as much as possible to do it step by step, so I kept track of my grades, whether I had a carryover, missing script, and yes, I had one carryover in the university, and I graduated with a 2-1 by God's grace. So I'm going to be telling you some little tips how you can track your progress. I am not a person that deals with, let's cheat, let's copy, let's do this. So what I'm trying to say is not giving you tips of how you can get all A's by going through the backyard or something. I'm going to be giving you tips today on how you can note your results, note where you're slacking behind, note what's going wrong, and know how to fix it on time. Because the university setting has a particular number of years you can spend. If it's a 4-year course, you can only spend 6 years. If it's a 6-year course, probably you can spend just 8 years, and there's a limited amount of time you can spend, and if that time is elapsed, you cannot really do anything much, in the sense that it's either you come out with a pass or you come out with nothing. And most of the time, it's not the fault of the students, maybe due to one reason or the other, like, I didn't even know I had a missing script, what's going on? And now you're seeing it in your final year, and you write it again and you fail, God forbid. You write it again, you fail, God forbid. That's part of what keeps people having carryovers or coming out of the university with nothing. And if you don't know how to track your progress from the first day you come into the university, you might end up with this problem. Well, thank God for my mom that helped me know the stages on how I can track my progress, and it worked for me, and that's why I'm going to be sharing this with you. Because a lot of us now are freshers, we are coming to the university, and there are some things that, especially for UNIPORT, there are some things that you're not concerning yourself about, and you just come in, and before you know, first year has gone, you've not even seen your results, second year has gone, you've not seen your results, third year is passing, and your parents are like, come, how were your results first year, second year? And you're like, no mom, it was fine, no dad, it was fine. Then when you now get to final year, when it's time for you to do your clearance, you got to discover that 2 courses are out, 3 courses are out. How did it happen? I thought my course rep told me I passed it, I got a C, I got a B. So how did it happen? The first thing I want you to understand is that good grades are very, very important. You cannot join the caliber of people that say, I beg now to just go school, let's just do it and get away with it, let's just anyhow. No, you cannot join the caliber of people, because if you join those caliber of people that says let's just do it anyhow and get away with it, you're going to come out with a 2-2, a third class, or even a pass, or even come out with nothing, because you're not going to take school seriously, you're not going to take what you're doing seriously, and you will definitely, anybody that doesn't take anything seriously is not worth receiving anything serious too. So first of all, first thing you should note is that good grades are very, very important. So let's start from there. That's number 1. Number 2 is, when you know that good grades are important, you're going to spend your time in working hard to get those good grades. And when I'm talking about spending your time in working hard to get those good grades, I'm talking about attending classes, not missing your tests, I'm talking about being on point, being a good student. Because see, university setting gives us that opportunity to be able to go to class if we want, to be able to sleep at home if we want, to be able to, you know, make our own life decisions. That is why it's university, universal. It's anything, pick your path. So it depends on you. Don't join the school as scam thing, you understand? Because school is actually not scam. You need to self-develop yourself. It's that discipline you're going to put in yourself that will make you read. Is that discipline you're going to put in yourself that will make you wake up early to attend that 7 o'clock class? Is that discipline you're going to put in yourself that will make you not miss that test or not miss that practical? Because there's that temptation to want to stay at home. See, I beg, I cannot kill myself. I beg, let's fast it today, we'll go tomorrow. It's the discipline, because your lecturer cannot give you everything, which is normal in the university, especially, but they can't give you everything. You're the one that is going to self-develop yourself to what you actually want to be. So first of all, you need to understand that good grades are important, and because you understand that good grades are important, you're going to work towards achieving good grades. That's the number 1 thing. The number 2 thing is now how to track your progress. First thing, I would like you to know that for your exams, make sure you put your name on the attendance, because when your name is on the attendance, if your script is missing or if your result doesn't come out, it's easy to trace it, to be like, no sir, I attended this course and my name is on the attendance, so how come my script is missing? So they will be forced to do something for you to make sure your script comes out. But if peradventure you leave the exam hall early and you don't write your name on the attendance, it will be difficult to find your scripts, because they are like, how are we sure she wrote the exam? Or how are we sure he wrote the exam? Now that's one part of it. The second part of it is this: immediately after the exams and you resume the next term and they say the results are out, well, the first people, especially UNIPORT, to tell you about whether the results are out or not is usually the course rep. And now the course rep comes and is like, wow, the results are out. Or either he will say, you guys should come and pay to check your results, or you can come meet me, check your result. And when you go to check your result, you see that, wow, you got a C, or you got an A, because I don't want to think about the low grades, you understand? You got an A and you're happy, wow, I got an A. That's number 1 step about it. The number 2 thing you can do after checking that result with your course rep is to go to your course coordinator to check that result, because he might have a copy. Yes, how sure are you that his copy is legit? It's not like he's going to bring, I'm not trying to talk bad about course reps. It's not like they're going to bring a bad result for you and say this is your result when it's not your result. No, I'm saying just for you to be extra sure, if you have an access to your course coordinator, go meet your course coordinator and confirm that you got that A. If it's a B, go confirm that you got that B from his end. That's second thing. The third thing you can also do is to get your transcript for that year. For we know that for every year they are going to collate your results, calculate your CGPA. Try as much as possible to get your transcript for that year. Immediately you're done with year 1, get the transcript for year 1 that is signed. Yes, it's going to be a temporary copy. They will say it's not. They'll say this is a transcript showing, they will show your CGPA. I think I actually have mine, which thank God, like I said, thanks to my mom. Like, she always said, go get your transcript, and sometimes you complain, but later I actually had to get all these things, and it helped me. So when you get your transcript, you will be able to note that, oh, this year this is what I did, this year this is the course that I'm slacking on, this is course I need to work on, how far am I going to review my reading pattern, how far, what else should I do to step up my game. Because the thing is that when you review your results, you will discover if it's your reading pattern that's the problem, or if it's actually the way you prepared for the exams that is the problem. Like me, there was a particular time when I saw my results, I was wondering, I was like, what's going on? In my test, I would do fine, I'll get like 20 something over 30, I'll get like more than half of the mark for the test, and when I see my results, I'll still be getting like C, getting B. So I was wondering what was going on. So what I did was that I went to check my transcript, I checked my test score, and I checked my exam score, and I got to discover that my test score was high, but my exam score was low. It's over 70, and I'll be getting things like 30 something, 20 something, and I'm like, what's going wrong? So I had to review the way I study for my exams, because for my test, I was attending classes, I was doing practicals, I was making sure that I was on point, like when it has to do with attending classes and doing all those things that will add to the test score. So I was getting a higher mark in my test, but for my exams, I was getting a mark that because if I can get 20 something in my test, and I can get 40 something in my exams, or 50 something in my exams, that should be giving me almost an A or a B. But I was still falling on a C, D. So what was going on? So I had to review the way I was reading for my exams. But if I had not collected my transcript to know what I was getting in my test and what I was getting in my exams, I wouldn't have known that I needed to work on my reading pattern for my exams. So when I got to see that lapse, I said, okay, now I have to review my reading pattern for my exams. And I had to start, okay, I was reading like this before, maybe I should change my pattern. And when I changed my pattern, I saw a difference. I started getting better scores in my exams. So now, joining in my exams and my test, it was now giving me better grades, better marks. So if you can do this, you get your test scores, get your exam scores, and compare them together. You will know whether it's your test that you're lacking behind, or your exams that you're lacking behind, or you will know if you're just unserious generally. Because let me tell you, the worst person you can lie to is yourself. And if you're lying to yourself, you're already putting yourself in more danger, because you're supposed to be the first person to tell yourself the truth. Am I doing fine? Am I doing badly? Am I doing okay? What's going wrong with me? How can I measure up? You're the best person to tell yourself the truth, because if you're deceiving yourself, how far are you going to go? If you're deceiving yourself, how far will you make progress? You will not make progress, because you feel you're doing fine, deceiving yourself, and you're not doing fine. And it's the worst place you want to be, telling yourself that you're doing fine when you're not doing fine. Another part of it is documenting all these your spreadsheets, because when you get to final year and it seems as if there's an issue that's about to come up, you can speak for yourself, bring these documents and table them before the panel or before the committee that is saying you had a carryover or had a missing script when you didn't have. Because I hear people say, I saw this result in year 1 and what's happening? I can't see the result again, or what, stuffs like that. So the best thing you can do in this case is document all the spreadsheets that you've gotten, document your results. Like, I have my result documented in my diary, and I also had my spreadsheet. You see, because I was keeping track of myself, I wanted to be sure that, okay, how can I add up for me to be able to come out with a 2-1? Where am I slacking behind? What will I do to get better? So I was giving myself that, I was putting that pressure on myself to do better. So I was looking at my track, looking at my documents, knowing where should I add more effort and where should I, relax more, add more effort here so that you can do better. So if you don't document all these things, you might not know where to start from when the chips are down and they say, oh sorry, you can't do your clearance, you had a missing script, or blah blah blah. God forbid, you're not going to have a missing script. So just make sure you document all these things, so that when it's time for you to show the documents, you will be able to bring them out and show them. Another thing is working on your weaknesses. Please work on your weaknesses. Where you've seen, okay, I have this lapses here, I have that lapses here, just be open to learning new ideas, be open to knowing the next step to follow. Find friends that are good at that course that you're not good at, find them to help you out. Find colleagues that are good at what you're doing, that course. If it's physiology, you're not getting right. If it's animal health, you're not getting right. If it's agriculture extension, not getting right, find people that are going to partner with you, that are going to grant you that help, to teach you that course better, to tell you tips and tricks on how you can pass. Another thing you would do is, when you figure out that, find your strengths. I'm not going to lie to you, in past questions are the majority of what can help you move forward faster in university, because what they taught the year before you is still the same thing they're going to teach you. It's the same pattern, the same process, just that if they change lecturers, these lecturers are going to have their own teaching patterns to make it better, to harness what they are trying to do. So the thing is that if you can look through past questions and you've read your notes and you've attended classes, I'm telling you, you are good to go. But if you're only depending on what you heard in the class and your notes, you might not do as much as people that have also got the extra mile to read past questions. Past questions are very, very important. I had to learn it the hard way. I made a video concerning that, my university experience, concerning 100 level and all those things. I've made a video concerning that before. And when I did my basic, I was not using past questions because I did a remedial program still in UNIPORT, and I was just, okay, I beg, you know, trying to be slack about some things. But when I got to discover that, wow, the guys that were using the past questions were doing far better than I was doing, I got that tip and trick and I started using it. And I'm going to tell you the truth, the moment I started using it, my grades, they started, as in, they were very, very high. Like, they were higher than the way I was doing before. Past questions are very, very important in the university. This will help you track your progress. It will help your reading pattern get better. Now I want to talk to people that, yes, they've done year 1, they've done year 2, they've done year 3, and they discover that they have some carryovers and they don't know where to start from. The first thing is to calculate, which year can I write this carryover? Like most of us, like me, I went for IT in my year 3. Some courses go for IT in year 4, and when you are going for IT in that year 4, most of the time they tell you that you cannot write any carryover, but you can still suggest, you can still ask, and they're like, okay sir, please can I do the carryover in this IT semester? If you're fortunate to get that approval, then you go do it. If not, try as much as possible to do courses, to pick your, especially for your electives and the electives, try as much as possible to pick courses that don't have very high credit units, so that you can attach your carryovers to it. And when you attach your carryovers, be serious about your carryovers. For the fact that you carried over that course, that means there was something lacking. Maybe you had a missing script, or maybe there was a problem that you don't know about and you discovered that you had a carryover and you had to write it. Just write it on time. Write it on time and pray about it. Leave it for God. Just put your best. The first thing you're going to do is to register it, put in your best, write it, and just leave it. Pray to God about it, and it's definitely going to be fine. I had that issue. I had a carryover in my year 2, a chemistry course, and I was thinking, because there was no space in my year 3 to write it, and that year 3 we were also going for IT, and the second semester, it was a first semester course. There was no space in the first semester to write it, because all the courses I was doing, we are already up to, I think, about 23 credit load. So I had to now write it in my final year, and that was my last chance. You know, throughout the period of thinking about that carryover, first of all, I cried. I was like, oh God, I attended the classes, I did the practical, what kind of thing is this, blah, blah, blah. But yes, I had to write it. That's the reality. After all the crying, after all the, oh, what happened, blah, 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 you will still write it. So just write it. When you write it, be positive about it. Put your best. Put in your best, the best of the best. I still went for that exam. I didn't have to cheat. I didn't have to copy here, copy there. I just gave myself the the space of reading better for the exams, preparing better for the exams. And when I wrote it, well, I passed and I was happy. I was even praying, Lord, if anyhow, I don't want to know, even if it's a E, even if it's a D, please let me just pass. Because that was my last chance. I didn't want to have I didn't want to have an extra year, because that's what actually leads to an extra year. And in this video, I will not want to be going into the fact of how you can curtail an extra year, because I did have an extra year, and though I've talked to some people that had extra years, but it's a difficult situation to be. And that's why I'm telling you before that they say prevention is better than cure. It's better you prevent it before it happens, so that you don't regret it when it now happens. So I would advise, start tracking your progress right from your day one in the University of Port Harcourt or in any university that you are in. When you start tracking your progress, it will help you to know how you can balance up, know your weaknesses, know your strengths, know where you're doing fine, know where you're not doing fine. And when you do that and you gather your spreadsheets, you gather your documents together, I'm telling you, you will rarely have an issue with things of, I don't even know, they say I have an extra year, I don't even know how it came about, I have a missing script. And you will not have to cry and mourn over those kind of issues. So guys, I hope this video helped you, and if you want more of how I scaled through the University of Port Harcourt, I'm going to tell you how better you can do it with the little experience I have. And for now, just stay safe, be fine, put in your best. And I'm currently a student pilot, and if you want to know more about aviation, make sure you subscribe and watch other videos just right on your screen for you to be a better person, a happier person, a more adventurous person. And I remain your favorite presenter on this channel, Princess Anu. Keep watching. Bye guys.